What's up, everybody? As I promised, I'm back, and right now, I had to do an episode this morning on Josh McDaniels. But right now, it's the recap. Everybody's like, a recap of a preseason game? That's right. I'll never forget when you watch preseason, the only thing that matters is a quarter and a half. All the starters are out by halftime, as it was in this game. But let's talk about what we did see. I will start with Vegas. Okay, Vegas. They started three of their offensive linemen last night. Their backup quarterback, which was really important because he didn't play well. We all know Stidham from being the backup quarterback for Tom Brady in New England. And he looked better in New England than he did last night. I hope it was just like nerves because I'm in, Vegas all of a sudden. And I'm going to say this now. If I say Oakland on accident, it's a daggone accident. Yes, I know they're in Vegas now. But Oakland Raiders sounds together. Las Vegas Raiders is still way too new for anybody to just be like, yeah, I know that already. So, I didn't get any information from the one guy that I do plan on doing another episode on. There was a wide receiver for Vegas Raiders. He's number one. I don't know what his name is, but that guy shined last night. He did have one drop from Stidham. Stidham did throw it a little bit high, but then again, if it hits you in the hands, you have to catch it. But this guy looked like, I want to say, a smaller Djax or almost a Percy Harvin type. I want to get more information on this guy. He looked really good. And Josh Jacobs looked really good. Come to find out, Vegas did not pick up his fifth-year option. So he's running for money. But then when Abdullah came in with the same three starting offensive linemen, Abdullah ran really well. So I guess the question that is in the middle of that is Oakland Raiders running offensive line that good, or is Jacksonville's running defense that bad? So right now I'm leaning towards Vegas having actually a legit running offensive line. Run blocking, I think they all fit. And that was with two backups. And the Jags D line didn't play any bums last night in the first quarter. They started, I think, 3 of their 4 starting left defensive linemen. And I mean, the first overall pick, he played against Vegas's starting left tackle. He got pushed back I want to say all quarter long. I saw him in the backfield all night long. And then I believe it was the third drive of the game, he got his sack on Stidham. I want to say second drive, but I think it was a third. And he pushed him all the way back. Stidham stepped up in the pocket. He broke off, got the sack, and got him down. He was really excited. And then I think it was either the next play or 2 plays later, they got another sack. So here's the question now. Is Vegas's off passing abilities as a blocking unit bad? Or is Jacksonville actually going to have a good pass rush this year? I'm leaning more towards Jacksonville is going to have a credible pass rush. I don't think Vegas is going to be that bad. I really don't. I think it was just nerves. And look, we all know how honest Josh McDaniel is. I asked him at halftime, what did you think? He said we looked very sloppy. He was talking about the offensive line. He was talking about the drop passes. He was talking about his quarterback. The defense, the linebackers for Vegas look very good. I'm talking good, crisp tackling. The first drive for Jacksonville was a 3-and-out, and we did not get to see Trevor Lawrence tonight. I'm thinking that the way I saw their defense tonight, it's obvious stepping stone in the right direction for Vegas. Um, I think their D line is going to be nice. And look, remember, we ain't seen all them pass rushers yet. That y'all got to remember, neither one of them played. Vegas has two legit pass rushers that we did not see last night. We all know they were trying to get the D tackles and the backup some time so that way they could rotate fresh during the season. Okay, so the secondary, come on, none of the wide receivers. I think one of the starting three started from Jacksonville last night. Like they didn't have their starters at wide receiver, so you couldn't tell about the secondary. But you could tell against the offensive line. Jacksonville's offensive line was trying to get continuity. They were trying to get some more chemistry together. You didn't see it last night. But I do know one thing. It was late in the third quarter. I know this is the part that really doesn't matter to most people, but late in the third quarter when all the bench was in, these are the guys that are fighting for contracts. These are the guys that we don't get to see. But I did see one thing that was very obvious, and I think anybody who watched past the second quarter knows exactly what I'm talking about. Other than Jacksonville's starters, if Jacksonville has 2 or 3 injuries to their starters, they're going to be in trouble. I mean, this could possibly be a 4 or 5 win team if they lose 1 or 2 starters on the offensive line, defensive line, secondary. They have no depth. And again, I'm talking about Jacksonville. Jacksonville has no depth. They have to play crisp, perfect football, which is not what Doug Peterson is about. Doug Peterson is about being physical and owning your job. He's not about being precise. He's not about precision football. I would say that's more Josh McDaniels. The offense, even the bench players, you saw that they understood their jobs and what they're doing. I did not see that last night. It is the first. You got 5 more weeks until the season starts. We need to see more growth from Jacksonville from the top down. And I'm talking about from the top player to the bottom player. Right coaches in there right now. I'm a fan of Doug Peterson. I know my boy Big Chief is a fan of Doug Peterson as he's a former Chief. As he's a former Chiefs coach. I am very curious about how the wide receivers, because look, we all know Jacksonville got a good running back that nobody knows about. He's so good that I'm even considering drafting him in one of my leagues, not both. And I try to think, is there anything else that I missed? Let's see. Josh McDaniels is very specific about how sloppy they looked. I think I spoke about that. Trayvon Walker, first sack in the NFL. I spoke about that. You guys caught that. Derek Carr didn't play. I thought he would have one drive. So, and then we also have to understand both quarterbacks are in a new system. I think Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr will work better together than Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, only because Trevor Lawrence is in the second year. Yeah, I even wrote down here 3 and out for Jacksonville on their first drive. That wasn't good. Trevor couldn't get one series. I'm stuck on that. Like, you got a second-year quarterback. He had, I want to say 2 good games. My instinct was to say 1. He played 2 really good games last year. Everything else was kind of a dumpster fire because they had no coach, they had no direction, and they had no talent. They got a lot more talent this year. I mean, out of free agency, I think Jacksonville was top 5 in as far as grabbing talent, but still the depth is lacking, and it's really obvious. Uh, yeah, I said Raiders run blocking is looking next level. That was the literal comment I made. Oh, there was a comment that I did base kind of my last show on, but I am going to say Chris Collinsworth said the Patriot way offense. He made the comment. Now, I'm not one. I'm not one of the people that hate Chris Collinsworth, but apparently a lot of people don't like him from what I've been hearing. So, the Patriot way offense. Josh McDaniels put a lot of time in New England building an offense for Tom Brady, even before he left for Denver, which people keep sleeping on. I don't think people noticed how he wasn't the same because Josh McDaniels is also his quarterback coach. So, and then obviously he came back after his stint in Denver, and the same job that he did for New England, he did for the Rams for 1 year, and it looked well then too. I did forget one. So Jacksonville. Now, even though the offense didn't look right, I noticed that Luton, the Jacksonville Jaguars backup quarterback, if he plays like he did last night again, he's gonna lock up that back. He looked very good. I was surprised. He was quick. He would step up. He would release the ball. He didn't hold on to it like the Raiders quarterback Stidham. Stidham was holding on to that ball like it was a baby and he was trying to put it to sleep. I'm like, for real though. But Luton looked really good. Passes weren't always accurate, but he got his pass off. It was early. The release was there. He obviously has NFL timing down, which we can honestly say that Jason Stidham doesn't have. Okay. Tyron Johnson is the name of the wide receiver for the Vegas Raiders. I almost say Oakland Raiders again. Vegas Raiders. And there's another guy, I never got his name, but I'm going to do this tonight, and I'm going to start getting into knowing these players like I used to. So Tyron Johnson is on my watch for lists, and I'm going to do one guy a team because I told you guys in my last episode, I love football. I love everything about football. Yes, I have my favorite teams, but I love football. I can watch anybody play. I'm one of those people I can pick film apart. I love, man. Okay, so that's the one guy who popped off my screen for Vegas Raiders was Tyron Johnson. Number one, he's the wide receiver. To me, he's got slot skills, but he also has outside skills. Footwork looked phenomenal. He did have a drop. I don't know if that was because it was raining. I think people forget because it was raining. Man. Tyron Johnson, he looked really good in the first game. They're going to let him, I almost guarantee in the second game, they're going to let him start. They're going to see what he does with the first unit. Because he played a little bit with the first unit last night, the preseason first unit. Remember that? The guy can play ball. That's all I do know. Let's see. Oh, there's this player. I don't know who he is, but I saw him make 2 tackles. I could have look. Don't you dare judge me. I'm just saying based on what I saw. I haven't saw a guy tackle like that since John Lynch. It was hard, and it was precise, and I don't know who the guy is. I'm just telling you, looking at the screen. The guy made 2 tackles. I was surprised how perfect. Head up, wrapped, hit. One of them was a wrap, and he put him to the ground. The other one was a straight hit, but he had his head up, stayed feet on ground, and he's number 42 and he's for Jacksonville. I'm going to find out who this guy is. And honestly, I can't wait to watch my next preseason game. I'll never forget the greatest prediction I ever made was Seattle with Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander. I saw them the very first preseason game on one drive. I said, this is a playoff team, and I would put money on it. This was when I was a kid. I could still see football like that. So yeah, and my comment about number 42, which is funny here in my notes, I put great fundamental. I'm telling you right now, the kid can tackle. He's got good vision. I gotta see his footwork more, and I gotta see his. I call it catch up speed. When somebody catches the ball, how fast can you get to a guy? How fast can you catch up? That's what I want to see from number 42. But other than that, when you talk about tackle, that dude can tackle. And he's in Jacksonville. He's the only guy I saw out of the bench, and I'm like, oh, okay. So that is my recap for a preseason game. I am in full football mode. I am excited. Football is back, baby. Football is back. And I'm too excited. It's not even traffic. I'm just flowing down to 15, just chilling, and I'm just talking. But my favorite quote from one of my favorite movies: good morning, good evening, good night.